My name is Ntala the Voice from Nairobi, Kenya, the capital of Africa. I've seen on internet people have got a problem with that introduction. Nairobi, the capital of Africa. Okay, that's not today's topic. We shall talk about that next time. So, I'm just in Kiambu County today, the neighboring county to Nairobi. This is a cemetery, by the way. So, and I'm next to PCEA Gaitombi. So the place where I am right now, it is close to a place called Kino and also a place called Mudiga. So I don't know, we are just in between, but on the inner side, which they're in Kiambu County. So that's amazing, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. But today there is something that has been concerning me. I've been observing what has been going on the internet, especially on YouTube. They're connecting internet cables. So I've been following up what has been going on YouTube and so on. And one thing that is trending, of course, in East Africa, we have been having slow internet because yesterday in the whole of East Africa, I've been told so, even in Uganda, Tanzania. I tried to call someone yesterday in Tanzania, said, man, the internet was not doing good. So because I think there is a problem with cables in the ocean, because the fiber cables pass through the ocean, under the ocean. So that is the reason why we have been having slow internet. So, going to the topic. There is something that is actually concerning me, and these, especially from the YouTubers coming from other countries, or maybe from out of Africa, on how they view Africa. Of course, in Africa, it is true, we have got our own challenges, and part of me, I've done stories about places, man, that actually things are not good. But remember, I was covering those stories accurately, without exaggerations, and I got the information from the people from that place. I've done stories in Uganda about the Idi Amin torture chambers. Of course, I had my own questions. Some things were not adding up. I also visited the tribe that are cannibals. They eat people. Of course, now they say they don't eat, but apart from that, I've done stories in Rwanda. Amazing, like beautiful Rwanda. And also, I don't know, just a coincidence, I got a chance to visit a slum in Kigali. And of course, that is accurate story. At the same time, I was in Tanzania. We did stories in Tanzania, amazing, Arusha, Kikulete Hot Springs. But apart from that, the most things that I've done is showcasing positive stories about Africa and the reality. Don't forget the reality, accuracy. Okay. So, but I've realized of late the group of YouTubers, or so-called content creators, who come from other parts of the world, especially out of Africa, but their only message is to spread negativity about Africa. And I can say this, anywhere in the world, like the few countries I've been able to visit, you'll find good things, bad things, and also good people and bad people. There are two kinds of people in the world. You're gonna get either a good person or a bad person, no matter where you are, no matter the country, place, culture, you're going to get that kind of people. So, but when they come to Africa, they like depicting like anything in Africa is negative. I don't understand. You know, I feel like there is this kind of grandeur thing that, everything, like they are above everything. That's what I understand. Though, not forgetting this, put this in mind. There are also so many YouTubers from out of Africa that have done amazing job. Amazing. They tell accurate stories. For me, I'm not a campaigner. It's not like there's so many beautiful things. Of course, you can show about beautiful things, but most of the time, I prefer accurate stories. Of course, negative stories fall under accurate stories. But now, I have a problem with exaggeration, man, on how things like the world is ending in Africa. Have you realized that? Or am I the only one who has actually realized that? I don't understand. I do internet connection there. So, one thing I like about right now, especially in Africa, like everywhere, even if in the villages they're having internet connection, man, that's a beautiful thing. So things are going really fast. Even construction, you can see going really fast. So let's go to the topic, man. So this story actually triggered me from Burundian Traveler. You guys, I hope you've watched Burundian Traveler. So Burundian Traveler was in Bujumbura, and he was wondering, why is nobody covering beautiful stories about this beautiful country of Burundi? Because allegedly people have been able to paint Burundi to be actually the so-called poorest country in the world, which I don't think so. If you've ever been to Burundi, you realize that actually it is not. That country is beautiful, man. Hills, green, amazing country. But it is kind of like people have successfully been able to convince the internet and the algorithm that actually Burundi is the poorest country in the world, of which I don't think so. So, of course, in Africa, there is a high possibility that maybe we are small economies as compared to the so-called big economies. But what do you really, how do you really define wealth or poverty? Maybe help me in the comment section, man. Maybe don't. I just don't understand. How do you describe poverty? You know, there's this conventional understanding of how to describe things, of which sometimes they're not really applicable in Africa. Maybe in the whole world makes sense, but maybe some parts of where we come from doesn't make sense. So explain to me. Maybe I don't have tangible money. I've just connected from that other place. So there's tarmac. This tarmac was put last year. I like how now there's like infrastructure in Africa is really growing. You find like this place is just like a village or something close to that, but at least nowadays you can see tarmac apart from the main highways and maybe main roads. This is just a rural road. Nowadays you can see tarmac here in Kiambu County, in Africa, Nairobi, Kenya. Close to Nairobi, Kenya. Actually, it's just an hour from this place to Nairobi CBD. So, explain to me. I want you to explain to me. How do you define the word poor? Because on my side, I really don't understand. How do you define that? So, explain to me. Someone with his or her own land, a house, maybe not permanent, maybe just semi-permanent, a person maybe. Man, sorry guys, I did not realize actually my. There's a truck there. Sorry, man, it's crazy. So I did not realize actually my camera had stopped, and I've been talking for a very long time. I've talked for over 30 minutes. When you're seeing this video, just know the whole part of the other video has gone like that. Sorry for that. So I was showing you this. There is this what I want to share with you before we continue. When you go like this, you can go all the way to Tanzania up to South Africa when you go like this. And when you go like this, you can go all the way to Uganda, Burundi, Rwanda, Congo, South Sudan, all the way to Egypt using this phone. So, man, I feel bad, man. I've lost a lot of important things that I've been communicating, man, especially with what is happening. And this story actually I saw it on the Burundian Traveler, complaining about how people only see the negative things about Burundi, and despite Burundi having so many beautiful things, man. And actually that's true. There is this grandeur feeling or attitude from some YouTubers, especially from the so-called first class countries coming to Africa. They belittle anything about Africa. So that has been also been disturbing to me. I know I've done stories, crazy stories, like in Uganda, in Tanzania, also in Rwanda, but we share stories accurately, not exaggerating things in a negative way. There's a donkey there carrying water. Wow. We actually not far from Nairobi City. It's actually like 1 hour to Nairobi City when you use this road. So we are in a place called Kino right now. So Kino is actually like the bedroom of Nairobi, Kenya, simply because most people that work in the city actually live here. The houses here are kind of cheaper as compared to other parts. So in Nairobi there is this funny thing. Nairobi there is this funny thing. You have to choose two things. The closer you are to the city, the more the houses are going to be expensive. But the fare or the fuel you're going to use to work is going to be little. Another thing, the further you move to from the city, Nairobi CBD, the cheaper the houses are going to be, but the more fare or more fuel you're going to use when going to work. So that's the crazy part of it. So I was sharing with you, there is something actually that has been trending a lot, and that is concerning Kenyans calling themselves the capital of Africa. It has been a problem to so many people. I've seen it on social media platforms, and I think I want to talk about it a little bit so that people can understand why we do so, or why Kenyans do like referring to Kenya as the capital of Africa. So another thing, first thing first, Kenyans love their country like crazy, and Kenyans are very vocal. So sometimes when you see Kenyans complaining about the government, it's not that they hate the country. Remember, there is a difference between the people and the leaders, or the government, of which is the same thing at the same time. You can't put them apart. But when something's not going well in a country, Kenyans are very vocal, and they don't care, man, who you are, because of this crazy freedom of freedom of expression. The country has got freedom. So that I think I'm walking to the wrong place. So another thing, Nairobi is considered as the capital of Africa simply because most of the multinational agencies and companies or organizations actually have got their headquarters here in Africa. Even the UN recently moved a very big percentage here in Nairobi, Kenya, of which some people said, man, it is not good, and there is something going to happen, because remember also Kenya, these are called matatus. Remember also Kenya. Hey, no. Let me go this side. Remember, also Kenya discovered this mineral, just like Congo, that can be used for the electric cars. So they're saying, if what is happening in Congo is because of the minerals, the same thing can happen to Kenya if we allow these guys or the UN to come and set their headquarters here. Of which, at some percentage, it gives me a worry, and another percentage, I don't know what the government is planning, because I don't think everybody's crazy. You can only be crazy if you're too greedy, and I'm hoping our leaders don't reach to that point of selling our country to people who've got bad interests. But we are hoping for the best, and as Kenyans and Africans in the whole, we should be very vigilant, because we know what is happening with our African brothers here and sisters, because things are not well in Congo right now, are not well in South Sudan, they're not well in Ethiopia, they're not well in Somalia. So I think the East African countries, man, that have been able to escape this matrix for some time has been Kenya, Uganda, but Uganda had problems also just a few years ago, remember. Also Rwanda is doing amazing. We have got Burundi also doing good, despite the challenges that people try to depict, so bad. And so, and also Tanzania is doing amazing. So, but most of our neighbors have been crazy. Like, Kenya is a neighbor also to Somalia, Ethiopia, and also South Sudan. But I'm very fascinated. I'm very, not just fascinated, but impressed by Ethiopia. Despite these challenges, man, Ethiopia is doing well economically, surprisingly. You can't imagine that, man. You can't imagine. It has even surpassed Kenya. Crazy. So imagine this country when they are going to achieve peace fully. Hey, man. Ethiopia is going to be a superpower, man. I love that, man. Congratulations to Ethiopia. Despite the challenges, you guys are doing well, man. I know there are challenges here and there, man, but you are going to come out victorious, man. May God bless Ethiopia, the only country in Africa that was not colonized, and also the only country in Africa with its own calendar, the only country in Africa with its own alphabet, the only country in Africa. Crazy. Wow. And the River Nile also passes through Ethiopia, a very blessed country, and the hottest place in the world is also in Ethiopia, and one of the beautiful places on earth is also Ethiopia, and one of the country with a lot of pilgrimages in the world, top one is Ethiopia. Can you imagine? Even one of the disciples of Jesus was actually coming from Ethiopia. Crazy and amazing. So here we go in Kino. It's very dusty today, and just the other day it was raining. Here was mud like crazy, but at least, what's this guy doing? There's another guy coming with a Subaru. Is it Subaru? Subaru. I like this Forester, the old model. They are pure metal, man, or pure steel. So we are in a Kino underpass right now. We are passing through the underpass in Kino. Kino is the neighboring town to Nairobi, Kenya. It's actually in Kiambu County, but just 1 hour or 40 minutes to Nairobi CBD. So many people working in the city actually live. So there's the underpass that I was talking about. So let's go this way so that you see also the inner part. I don't want to show you the outer side of this town. I want to show you the inner side of it so that you get a clear picture of how it looks like. So yeah, so back to Nairobi, why we call Nairobi the capital of Africa. So in Kenya, we have got this blueprint or vision called Vision 2030, of which we want to be among the leading economies in Africa. Of course, right now we are, is it number 6 or number 7? But there was a time we were number 3 in 2022. So we want to achieve this. We want to have good security. We want to have good infrastructure. That's why you see a lot of construction in Nairobi. We want to check on our education system. That's why we changed our education from 844 system to the CBC system, the curriculum based, competence-based curriculum, that is. And of course, our health infrastructure. I did a documentary about that in a show called Maisha Health in 2022. And we also checking a lot of things, not just one thing, many aspects, Also security beefing up to ensure, we ensure our borders are not porous. Of course, they have been having terrorist attack in the other years, so we need to check on that, and also bandit attacks here and there. But the country is really working on that. So the 2030 vision, of which we are just remaining with around 6 years or so, we want to be the biggest economy in Africa or closer to that. So we need to ensure that it is a blueprint that we had to follow. But remember, this blueprint used to be 2020, but we pushed it to 2030. It was choreographed by our former president, Paul Mwai Kibaki. Nowadays the late. He's one of the most celebrated presidents in Africa, because he really brought a lot of change in Africa. Not in Africa. Okay, Kenya is in Africa. In Kenya, including bringing free education in Kenya, and also bringing the freedom of speech in Kenya. That's why Kenyans are very vocal, and also is the one who initiated the Vision 2030, and also bringing of these powerful internet that you see in Kenya. So that's why we celebrate him so much. So 2030 is closer. I'm sure we have been able to achieve a few things. Lista supermarkets, we have been able to achieve some things, or a few things others have not been able to achieve, but we are on the way. And not only in Kenya, also other African countries are doing an amazing job, man. So every country has got its own target and what they want to achieve, so including Kenya, that is. So we are on the way. Challenges here and there, but we shall overcome, man. I love how African countries are. Go to Tanzania, doing an amazing job. Even recently, Tanzania commissioned its first electric train. Amazing, man. Congratulations to Tanzania. There is also Kenya, of course, the SGR. They use diesel still, but improvement slowly by slowly. I've seen very soon it's going to the western part of the country, and I'm told also Uganda is doing the same to Rwanda. We have got this East African bloc, man, that is happening. Countries in East Africa coming together. Let me mention to you countries that are in East Africa right now. So back then, East Africa used to be just Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. That's why it's easy to mention. They're just neighbors. They share Lake Victoria. All those three countries share Lake Victoria. So right now we have got Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Burundi, Congo, Somalia, Ethiopia also recently joined. Even Somalia also recently joined. We've got also South Sudan. How many countries are there? They 8 or 9. Count for me. Let's count again. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. Those are they started the East African community. Okay. Then we had Rwanda, that is 4. Burundi, that is 5. Congo, 6. Somalia, 7. Ethiopia, 8. I've counted South Sudan. Or no, South Sudan, 9. That's nice. That's a good block, man. If they can be able to eliminate this border so that we can be able to trade easily. There is a police station here. I know they're gonna disturb me when they see me filming. So let me put the camera like this so that you can be able to see me on this angle. So if we can be, but something good, maybe before I criticize or maybe critique, these countries right now, when you move to this East African bloc, you don't need a passport or a visa. So you can either go with just a temporary passport, of which you can go to a cyber cafe. You guys still have cyber cafes in your country? Print something, just your ID, then you can go. Also, you need a yellow fever card, and also you need I don't think they still ask for the COVID certificate, but this year I've not traveled a lot. Last year they were still asking, but in Rwanda side they were not asking. So I don't know other countries, because last year I was not in Ethiopia. I was just in Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda. So Yeah. So it's amazing, man. This country are coming together, and I hope you guys are seeing how Africa is coming. You know, step by step. I know it's gonna take time, but I'm very optimistic, man, that one day Africa is gonna come together. People are going to do business together. The main aspect of it, to me, listen to me. My idea of Africans coming together is not forming one government. It's not a must. If it forms, it's good and well, I support it. But if you ensure that we just have one currency and we allow trade to be free all over Africa, like trade free, you can go to any country, do trade. That's the most powerful. We do something like we can borrow, like the European Union concept. I think that can work well, because if we say randomly, let's unite, you know, there's so many greedy leaders who are not going to allow that, because, man, I'm the president of my country. How am I going just to be like a member of parliament or a governor in a state? Let me maintain my president status. That's gonna scratch us bad. But if we allow just trade to be free all over Africa, it's gonna be good, and we're gonna be strong, and we're gonna have a union very strong, like having a solid union. Never know what we're having right now in the African Union. It's crazy. It's like a puppet thing. But what if you have a very strong institution that when the chairman of AU says this, everybody follows, and over to the interest of Africa? It's going to be crazy, crazy strong. Just my thinking. What do you think? You can tell me in the comment section, so that just ideas, man. Maybe I might not be having one of the best ideas, but that's what I think. But by sharing is when we are going to realize amazing, amazing ideas, and that's how we grow as a continent. So, guys, I wish to mention, YouTubers or content creators that have been championing for the greater good of Africa. I like to recognize, man, my friend. We've done a vlog together. I am Marwa. And Marwa is doing a great job. We've done a vlog together. He's right now in, yesterday he was in Tanzania, Zanzibar, then Dar es Salaam, then heading to Malawi. Go check his works. He's going all the way to South Africa. We've done a vlog together here in Nairobi. It was a brief one when he was going to New York, but we did an amazing story. Another one, Wodemai is also doing a good story with Miss Tudi D Mwango. It's Nasto, all the way from Nyabohansen, man. Thank you so much, my brother. Doing an amazing job. We have done a vlog together with It's Nasto, so you can go and actually check. Very beautiful story. So this is the inner part of Kino. Also, go check the work of Burundian traveler, Jamaican uncle. There is this gentleman, man. I've seen him. He's right now in is it Mozambique or Malawi? He's a Kenyan with a dread, wear specs. It's called Ish. I don't know, man. I've just forgotten his name, but I think he's doing a really great job. I've also seen Sean Arwa doing an amazing job. I have seen Daisy. I've forgotten the other name of Daisy. I just call her Daisy. She's a Kenyan YouTuber. I saw her with a Burundian traveler just the other day, doing an amazing job. Also help me mention other YouTubers, man. Maybe, you know, I can forget. You can talk a lot, maybe, and forget other people. Sometimes even close people. Hey. One YouTuber that I like most in the ladies category is Brownie Carol 254. Hey, that girl does amazing videos, man. Does amazing videos. You guys go watch, man. Brownie Carol 254. Hey, wonderful lady, man. So here we are, man, in Kino. So it's, hey, man, it's hot today, you know. I'm shining because of the sunshine. Crazy sunshine today. So there is this thing that I wanted to talk about today, and it's something fascinating, especially in this part of the county close to Nairobi. like these places, you find just, you know, actually villages. Actually, this is a school van, yellow in color. In Kenya, a blue school van or bus has to be this color, yellow color like this. Blossom Academy, according to the government rules. I think this. I like this part of the Kiambu County simply because you can go in a village like this one, but still find at least tarmac in the village or cabros, something like that. So beautiful to me, man. It's amazing. I know sometimes African leaders can be corrupt, but when you see something like this, you find, man, there is hope. There is hope, man. It is beautiful when you see something positive. It's amazing, man, when you find and realize, man, there is hope, man. Especially with these young leaders. I'm very, very optimistic and very, very hopeful that these guys are going to do an amazing job in the country. This is a church here. Is it ACK or PCEA or Catholic? I've seen there is something like a cross there. There's so many churches in this place. In Africa, there's so many churches. There's so many churches than schools sometimes. It's good to worship, but also it's good to build facilities that are going to enhance, because also in the books of the Lord, our God, it says faith without work is dead. So by work we set institutions that are going to help. Even that is a church. It is an ACK church, Anglican church. This, I think it is Catholic church, if I'm not wrong. So it's good when we have faith. We also build institutions to, you know, to complement what we are praying for, so that our children can be able to achieve. It's good to have education, good to elect good leaders. It's good to think beyond, you know, tribal or religious, cocoon or something like that, vacuum or that box, because I believe God has given us brains to be able to interpret things, to think, to rationalize, because God gives us a guide, so it's up to us to follow. I believe so. Or maybe what do you think? Yeah, it's sunny, man. Look at that. Have a good time. It's amazing. So here we are. I was saying like this. I'm glad that nowadays you can go to places, not like main roads, but at least find something, some developments here and there. Like you can find water, you can find, you have seen internet connection, fiber connection. You can see roads like this, tarmac. At least something is going on. Something is going on. Electricity, but I need to work on this, man. Seeing these wires here and there. So I hope they come with a clear structure on how they're going to make that good. So guys, of course today I was bothered with other YouTubers from especially out of Africa, with this Grandoya feeling, or on how they portray our beautiful continent and countries in Africa. But I still want to applaud those who have been, spreading good news, positive news about this beautiful Mama Africa. God bless you. There's so many, men. I like Drubinski and also Nas Daily doing an amazing job. And also there's this guy from Nigeria who does real estate stories. I've forgotten the name, man, but I like his stories. Amazing guy. So guys, that has been it, man. I really appreciate for watching, and thank you for working with me and having this beautiful discussion. You can drop a comment and maybe just share with me where you want me to go next. As an electric bike. So for today, that's enough. My name is Voice. Have a good time.